Alright guys, we are replacing the standing rigging on our Endeavour 32 sailboat, the Sandflea. And that process basically starts right now. I have this box of goodies. Let's see what's inside. Sta-Lok fittings. And what you see here are the materials that we need for what I'm calling stage one, which is replacing the lowers, basically the four wires that run up to the height of the spreaders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to partially assemble the shrouds here. And what I mean by that is I'm going to go ahead and install one terminal onto each of the four wires, and then the other end is just going to be left bare. That way I can trim that in to length, install the final fitting, and it's just going to save a good bit of time if I go ahead and partially assemble these here. Alright, I think that kind of sums it up. Let's get going. There's Molly up there. Welcome to my pop's woodshop. He makes all kinds of bird houses and he makes homemade pens and things like that. Actually, here's one of his bird houses right there. Check that out. Yep. But what I am here for is this right here. I need to use this vise to start putting together the rigging. Next stop, Green Cove Springs, Florida. Bonjour, amigos. I am en route to Green Cove Springs, Florida to begin the process of replacing the standing rigging on our sailboat, the good ship Sandflea. I am indeed solo on this trip. It is just yours truly. I plan on accomplishing this stage one of the process all by my onesies. We'll see. All right, so I'm gonna put down the camera and focus on driving. And yeah, I'll see you at Green Cove. And I'm at Green Cove Springs, Florida. I've arrived. The boat is still here, still floating. Just kind of a general layer of crud that I don't really know it might not even show up in this video, but I'm gonna hopefully have time to give her a good scrubbing in addition to replacing the rigging, and I've already gotten a start on it. What I did, I put those little pieces of blue tape on the shrouds and I just have them marked. This is the port aft, port forward, starboard forward, and starboard aft. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this electrical tape and mark where the basically how far the stud goes into the turnbuckle before I start loosening everything, because I need to have that marked in order to cut the new shrouds. Okay, so I have these two ropes rigged up to this smaller line that I'm going to use to pull them up to me. And then there's the mast climber thing. I have a climbing harness that I use as a backup. I've got the rope to the mast climber tied to this cleat. I've got the rope to the climbing harness tied to this cleat for a bit more redundancy. And yeah. Alright, so I'm at the spreaders. Here's my rope. Okay. Now I'm just looping it over the opposite spreader. It's got a nice big bowline in it, I guess. Okay, I'm down now. So the two blue supporting ropes, they run down through a block, then they go to the winch, and then they're cleated off back there. Same on the other side. Okay. Shrouds are all loose. Okay, I actually pulled down two of the shrouds, and I didn't mean to skip filming it, but I was halfway up the mast when I realized I left the camera down here and I wasn't going back down to get it. There's one there, and there's one here. I put a couple of screws in this board right here. This is one of the new ones that I put one end on. I'm probably just going to put the new one there, the old one there, pull them out straight, and you know, get my mark that way, and then cut the new one, put the fitting on, and then put them back up. Yep, we'll see how that goes. I'm going to show you how I'm doing this, and this is basically the equivalent of eyeballing. I'm not even using a tape measure. I'm putting these turnbuckles in the position they're in when they're very, very loose. So I'm really opening these things up, and then I am taking this one in a, you know, very neutral position, quite opened up, pretty much, you know, with both of the fittings in the middle of their range. And then I am putting the pins right next to each other. I am pulling this out straight, and then I am leaving this in the position it falls in, and then I am taking the new wire, pulling it alongside this one without moving it, and then marking where it needs to be on the fitting. It's probably a very unorthodox way to do it, but we will see. Good morning. It is kind of chilly in here, but it is time to get started on putting the other ends on these wires. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set up a little workspace. Okay, I think that might be it. I don't know. So I have all the strands of rigging here uncoiled and kind of laid out. I have them all hooked here to the halyard, and I'm going to use the halyard to pull the ends up to the spreaders. And then each of these lines are secured with a rolling hitch so that I can pin them into place without actually having to, you know, unhook them until they are pinned. And finally there's this line here that I'm just going to tie back down here to deck level so that I can get the halyard back after all these are hooked in place. Yep, that's my plan. Okay, here we are again, aloft. There's the spreaders. There's all the new rigging pieces. All right, now we're gonna look for, let's see, have to look down at the boat to remember. Okay, starboard, forward. Starboard, forward is this one, SF. So we're gonna put that one in next right here. So far so good. Okay, so I got them all, they're all pinned into place now. And now I abseil very, very gently because the mast is quite wobbly. Oh no! Oh no! I can't believe that I need to loosen this first. All right, it fits. Check that out. New shroud, new shroud, new shroud, new shroud. That's it. Boy, that feels good to have that done. It was a little weird climbing the mast without stays on it to put these in place because it was kind of wiggly. Yep, okay, so all that's really left for this trip is to make one more trip to the very, very top because there's a pin right up there that I have to get the measurement of. I suspect it is a 3/8 inch clevis pin, but I gotta know exactly what it is so that I can order materials for the next stage. Half-inch pin. Alright, so my job is essentially done here. I have successfully completed stage 1 of the rigging replacement project. Now I'm just gonna give the old girl a bath and then head back home, and then go ahead and get the rigging ordered for stage 2 of the project, which unfortunately requires me to do a lot of work at the very top of the mast, which I am very, very reluctant to do. But it is necessary, and since it is necessary, it must be done. There's all the new rigging pieces. And I'm up here trying to decide If the mast were to come down, would it be worse to land on the concrete or the water? And I don't really know which is worse. But we're not going to think of that. Just going to get busy. Do something productive. To take my mind off of all the things that could go wrong. Okay, let's see.